You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Today's show is sponsored by Dr. Jacalyn. Take charge of your life personally, financially, and professionally. Visit drjacalyn.com to book an appointment today.
Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, live here on Business Talk Radio, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. I am your host and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am a certified life and career coach. I help people get unstuck from the challenges that they have in their lives. Today, I am joined by another coach. Her name is Keshia Butler-Thomas. Let's bring her out and hear her story. Hi, Keshia. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Jackie. How are you? Thank you so much for having me this evening.
Oh, it is my pleasure. It's great to see you. And you are the CEO of Purposeful Life, Solution-Focused Life Coaching. What does that mean exactly?
So yes, that is correct. I am the CEO and founder of Purposeful Life, Solution-Focused Life Coaching. Solution focus very pivotal there, as I do offer life and business coaching for the every woman. However, I truly believe that if we have issues, we need to be focused on the solution. And so we make sure that through all of our programming, we help the individuals whom we get to call family and clients for those who don't. We make sure that we are helping them stay focused on their end game and what the solution is to their issues to help them live a full, bountiful, purposeful life.
And that's so important now more than ever, isn't it? Everybody's looking to have a purpose and a sense of belonging, community. Keshia, I want to give out a phone number. If people want to call in with questions for you, please call in at 631-730-5468. So, Keshia, how did you find your passion in life coaching?
Wow. Well, Dr. Jackie, that is a question that I love answering because I love to say that this business was born through a very difficult time, almost like a concrete rose. And so long of the short, my father suddenly passed away 5 years ago. And when my father passed away, he was only 52 years old.
Oh.
He had no pre-existing conditions. He just went on to glory. And so I am an only child of two only children. And so losing my father was literally losing a third of my family. And so for anyone who loses someone close to them, it is devastating. And for me, I feel that I felt that devastation amplified simply because of how small my family unit is. And so I spent about a year, Dr. Jackie, trying to figure out how to navigate the grief. And after about a year, I decided that I needed some support to do that. And so I sought a grief counselor. And through seeking a grief counselor, about 6 months or so in, the grief counselor said to me, she goes, as lovely as you are and as great as these sessions are, you don't need me. But if you would like just someone to hold you accountable, help you with some goal achievement and things like that moving forward, have you considered a life coach? And so at that point, Dr. Jackie, the only life coach I knew was Ian Levanzan as I watched the OWN network, Oprah Winfrey's network. And so I said, well, I never thought about that, but I guess that could be good. So I found a life coach. I spent about 3 months or so with the coach before she turned to me and she goes, you don't need me. What you need to be doing is teaching these methods to other women. And it's funny, Dr. Jackie, throughout my entire life, I was coaching without knowing I was coaching. Always being that go-to person, being able to communicate and level with various people from various walks of life. I had always been that person. And it was always something that I loved, but I never looked at it as a career, right? I come from a family who believe that you finish high school, you go to college, and you get what my dad used to call a serious job, right? So you get one of the jobs that we all tick off in our serious box. So I was in corporate America. I spent my time there because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. But truthfully, Dr. Jackie, upon losing him, it really made me just look at life differently. And so, through those conversations that I had with both of those individuals, I went back to school, got certified in life coaching. I did it on the side for about 3 years. And then I like to say that this pandemic was a blessing in disguise for me, as it allowed me the opportunity to walk away fully from a corporate life and thrust myself into this business full time. And so it has been amazing. I know that my beginnings are a little different as it came from some pain, but I truly believe that that was the blessing in the loss for me to be able to fully find myself and live completely in my purpose.
Wow, Keshia, there's so much there that you just shared. Thank you for your transparency. I really appreciate that. And for our listeners and our viewers, you and I have never met before. We never had a conversation before. But what's so interesting is that we have so much in common. A lot of what you just shared has also been my journey. I lost my father and I was devastated and still am. And I left my corporate job during the pandemic to focus on what I was doing part-time, which was this life coaching. So it's really crazy how we were brought together and have a similar journey.
Yeah, it is. And I do believe that life is that way, right? We end up exactly where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there.
Even though we might be kicking and screaming the whole time, not wanting to go there, right? I know
Exactly.
I worked with a life coach for 9 months in order to have the confidence to be able to leave my paycheck, because that was a big deal, leaving the paycheck and all the wonderful benefits and the travel. So did you have a similar experience that you had to walk away from things that were really standing in your way?
So I will tell you, Dr. Jackie, if we back up just a few years, so we'll back up 4 years. So my father passed away 5 years ago. It was 4 years ago that I made the decision that I was going to get some supports to be able to get me through that. So 3.5 years ago, I left corporate America and went into small business.
Oh,
And so that transition was definitely huge, right? Because there's just so many perks, as I'm sure you know, and our viewers and listeners know, that come with corporate America.
yes.
Being able to have healthcare plans that are, more affordable, being able to have 401ks that are matched at 3% or higher, things like that. So I gave that up 3.5 years ago when I went into small business. During my time in small business, I was blessed to meet my now husband.
Oh,
And in meeting my husband, I met my husband January of 2018, and we got married February of 2020. And so I must say,
wow,
my
congratulations.
husband, thank you. My husband has been such a blessing for me in the second transition, leaving small business and being completely on my own, simply because my husband has some of those things that I was worried about, like the health benefits, like the retirement plans. My husband's in transportation, and so the transportation industry is one where you and your spouse receive pensions for as long as you put in a certain amount of years and what have you. And so I was blessed in that sense to be able to have a partner who was able to kind of help absorb some of that second wave hit that I was anticipating taking.
Wow, you truly are blessed. And especially during this year of chaos and change that you found love and got married.
Yes.
It's really amazing. So I'm happy for
It's
you.
actually it's actually so funny, Dr. Jackie. We got married literally a week before the world shut down.
Oh my gosh. That is truly amazing. And I'm wondering, Keisha, our show is about hope inspiration and stories of overcoming adversity. So I know there are people out there who are in a job that's not fulfilling. They're thinking about leaving, making a change, but they're just consumed with that fear, that dread, that monkey mind, that tape recorder that goes around and around, says we're not good enough, we're not good enough. What would you say to them based on what your transitions have been?
So, my biggest piece of advice for someone who is struggling with leaving is, if you're thinking about doing it and it's something that you really want to do, then much like Nike says, you have to just do it. When we spend a lot of time thinking and planning, we tend to talk ourselves out of our purpose. And it's not intentional. It's what we are trained to do as adults with families and responsibilities and things like that. It is natural for us to weigh pros and cons. But what I must say about taking that leap is, you just have to do it. I will never forget the day that I left corporate America. It was a Thursday, and it was at 11:45 a.m. We used to break for lunch every day at 11:45. And I sat at my desk all morning long, feeling unfulfilled, feeling unhappy, feeling unworthy. And I said to myself, you need to leave. And part of me was saying, turn your chair around and look out the window. You have a corner office in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Have you completely lost your mind? And then the other part of me was saying, are you tired of feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, and unworthy? I wrestled with this for 4 hours or so. So I used to get into the office roughly 7 a.m. So about 4 hours, I'm going back and forth. 11:45 came, Dr. Jackie. I took about 4 things with me: 2 awards, a planner that I loved, and my computer bag. I got in my car. I sent a message to my administrative assistant and I said, I'll never forget this. I said, I will not be back. So my admin says, oh, okay, not a problem. I can put your out of office on. And I said, oh, no, that won't be necessary. I've sent a letter, email to human resources, and I let them know I will not be back. So she calls me, actually a FaceTime, an iPhone FaceTime, and she goes, where are you? And I said, I'm in my car. I'm going home. I will not be back. And she said, are you sick? When are you coming back? I said, I'm not. And she
Wow.
looked at me and she said, good for you.
I love that.
And it's so funny. We talk to this day, and she says all the time, she goes, everybody who I meet, I always tell them that story about how you just left. She's like, and I couldn't understand it. I'm like, how do you just do that? What are you doing? But she goes, I tell people that story all the time because it resonates so much with so many people, because there's so many folks who are in their office every day feeling drained, feeling underpaid, feeling unworthy, feeling as though they are replaceable. And that's terrible to feel like that at a place that you spend more time at every week than you do with your own family.
So true.
So
And
I must say, I just must say, just do it. If you're ready, do it. That is the spirit telling you it is time to move.
there's never going to be a better time. I remember when I gave my letter of resignation and my boss read it. He was sitting across from me, and I think he was speechless for a certain amount of time. Then he said, you know what? You have so much courage. You are so brave. And I never really thought of it, but something happens, like you just snap and you say, you know what? That's it. It's time to go. I've got to do this now. So thank you for sharing your story. We're going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors. So stick around if you will. And then remember, if you want to call in, please do, and have any questions for Keshia. So we'll be right back. We're going to hear from a friend of mine, Margie Cedrone. Margie is a jeweler. She makes custom jewelry pieces. She made my Dr. Jacalyn. And so the holidays are coming up. And if there's a piece of jewelry you want to have custom made, all price ranges, please consider Margie. We'll hear from her, and we'll be right back. So Keshia, stick around, and Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. Jacalyn over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Cedrone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.
RVNtv is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVNtv shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Have you just lost your job or have been laid off and you are looking to transition to a new job or career? Maybe you have even tried submitting tons of applications and yet you keep getting turned down for jobs you qualify for. Don't wait until you become overwhelmed with rejections when you can easily transition or get your dream job. Let MJW Careers guide you to the right career path and a better, brighter future. At MJW Careers, we know what hiring managers are looking for, and our goal is to land you the job you deserve. What makes MJW Careers a wonderful provider over other services is our pragmatic and scientific approach to resume writing. There are rules, there are visual cues, there are content best practices. We understand those and work within the boundaries to ensure our clients' messaging appeals to the decision makers. Our career consultants will help you transition into new roles quickly and effectively. With our experience in virtually every industry, we will provide direction in the frustrating job market by helping you write a customized, professional resume and prepare you for your interview as well. Join the great number of people we have helped scale up to greater things in their careers. Let us help you on your career journey. Come visit us, www.jobstickers.com, to learn more and grab a free resume review or ebook.
Here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hi, welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn here on Business Talk Radio every Friday. Welcome to our friends on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Please feel free, if you're on Facebook, to put any comments for Keshia and for our show. We'd love to hear from you. So I'm with Keshia Butler-Thomas today, and it's a pleasure. You just shared a very emotional story that's actually very uplifting and very courageous. So you gave your notice, you left your job, and you never looked back. And today you have a thriving business, and you also are a TV show host on RVNtv. Tell us about that.
I am, yes. I host Stop Surviving, Start Thriving with
Life
Coach Kesh on RVNtv, which airs on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. And I created Stop Surviving, Start Thriving as a place to allow ambitious women an opportunity to narrate their stories. I think for so long, we have been allowing others to narrate our stories, and I wanted a place and a safe space where women were able to express who they are, what they believe in, how they've become who they are, and where they're looking to go in a very authentic way.
And have you been finding any common themes among the women you meet with?
I think the most common theme with the women whom I've had the opportunity to interact with is that they are very driven by making the people in their lives proud of them. And that has been very, very heartwarming. May that be their spouses, their children, their parents. They are looking to make someone proud. And that is such a dynamic and powerful why to have when we are facing the world head on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. And Keshia, how important would you say it is for our audience to reach out and connect with new people during this time?
So what I have found during this past 2 weeks turned 8 months is that connecting with new people has become such a pathway to building blocks of success. And I say that because we are home, and I can speak for myself. Typically, I'm on the road as I host the show on RVNtv. I run a coaching practice. I also speak internationally. And so I'm on the road a lot. And so me actually not being on the road and being home and being able to interact more in these virtual Zooms has been such a breath of fresh air. Meeting new people, hearing different perspectives, new ways to arrive at the same goals has truly been pivotal in the building blocks of a successful business, as it has allowed me exposure to people whom I would have never met because I would have been constantly moving and shaking in my travels. But being as though I am home and able to spend that time, it's so funny, you don't realize how much time you're actually in the car until you're not in the car. So I've probably added, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to my day, right? Just being still. And so I would say that meeting those new people is extremely pivotal in building true building blocks to be able to work with the masses.
Absolutely. And, I want to give a shout out to this organization that someone introduced me to. It's called Lunch Club. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's really fascinating. There's no cost to join. I'll send you an invitation, but you get to put in the topics of things that you're interested in, artificial intelligence, production, speaking, whatever it is. And then you're automatically matched up with people from all over the world, and you connect with them certain days of the week. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. And so I signed up 2 weeks ago, and I've had 5 meetings with people I never would have had the opportunity to meet otherwise. And I've learned something from every one of them. I have pages of notes that I've taken. So I think for everybody out there watching or listening, this is such a great time to broaden your network and have a huge sense of community while we're all going through these big changes.
Yeah, I say quite frankly and often that whether or not we wanted to, we have all hit the reset button the past 8 months. Some of
Yes.
us voluntarily, like yourself, you and myself, but some of us not voluntarily. And so we have to be cognizant that not everyone wanted to start over or start anew or start fresh. Some people are really happy with where they were. And unfortunately, for one reason or another through this pandemic, that has changed for them.
Absolutely. And, part of the reason why I started doing my shows was really to give people a platform to speak. And I do so many different interviews, and everyone who comes on shares that they have learned something, that there has been something positive that's come as a result of this pandemic. So I think, and I'm sure you agree, that if you see a challenge, you see a closed door, you look for the open window, you make an open window, you whatever it is you have to do, and you'll find something waiting for you on the other side that you never would have otherwise.
I could not agree with you more. I'll tell you something that I heard. I listened to a lot of different podcasts and things like that. And one thing that I heard on a podcast that truly resonated with me was oftentimes we're in a holding pattern. We're waiting for something. So for example, we may have our eye on, a really nice home that we're looking to buy. Let's just say it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and we are dead set on this home. And then the home falls through and we're devastated, right? But
Right.
then a week, 2 weeks, 1 month later, all of a sudden a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home opens up and it's for the same price. And so I say that to say, oftentimes we get so stuck on what's in front of us right now because we think that's the be all end all. But the truth of the matter is, if we just are patient and obedient to our purpose, we can come out on the other side with something even greater.
Totally agree with you. For some reason, I decided to sign up for a meditation teacher training certification. I think this was in June or May or something. I just started looking for different programs, and I've never really formally meditated. I've always prayed, but never knew exactly what was involved with meditation. And I have learned so much about the Buddhist philosophy that I didn't know anything about. And so at a minimum, it's been an incredible learning experience to do something that I never even thought of doing before. And as a result of that, I am much more calm. I am very much like this, as opposed to high highs and low lows, and able to take a step back and give some perspective to whatever is going on. What are your thoughts about that, Keshia?
So it's funny that you asked that. So in college, I was actually a religion and African American studies minor. And
Wow.
so in being a religion minor, I studied every religion that's ever been. And it's funny because in my home, if you come to my home, I do have a Buddha. And oftentimes I get asked, why do you have a Buddha? Like, you are not a Buddhist, so why do you have a Buddha? But I have the Buddha simply because I do believe in a lot of Buddhist principles. And the biggest thing in Buddhism that really stands out for me is that if you do good, you receive good. It's very simple, right? And the Buddhists put it the simplest. However, that theme really does reign through every religion you can think of, even back to Confucianism. However, that I do believe that being of clear, sound mind is very important in order to be able to get to the next level of your life. I call it quieting the noise. Being able to take a moment, take a step back to really truly evaluate what is happening in your life and organize how you're going to move forward. In part of my programming, we teach organizing, strategizing, and mobilizing. And that is all based on that theory of do good, receive good, take a step back, analyze the situation, proceed once you've thought it through. And so, Dr. Jackie, I am lockstep with you on what you are doing by way of just taking a step back to give some different perspective to where you are. I think it is extremely important, and it is definitely a principle that I deliver to my clients.
I love that. You know, in thinking about change and embracing change, I never thought 10 months ago, I would have 4 TV/radio shows, that I'd be producing commercials, that I'd be meeting the people that I meet. But I put myself out there, and I was open to change and embracing change, and all the while trying to help other people and give them a platform to speak. So if you're out there watching, listening, you hear 2 strong women telling their stories, and I hope that you will put yourself out there and make changes in your life that really resonate with you, that maybe you've been waiting your whole life to make, and this is your opportunity.
Absolutely. And like we said moments ago, just do it. Don't overthink it. If it is in your spirit to move that way, then do that, because whatever is for you, no man can take from you. So my suggestion is always to move forward with it, right? Because your gut feeling is truly, truly your spirit speaking to you.
Absolutely. And Keshia, I want to touch on your international speaking, because I would think at the end of 2020, there are going to be a lot of organizations that want to have a huge kickoff party to say goodbye to this year. And they need somebody inspirational, motivational, someone who has walked the talk, right? And that is you. So tell us how we can get in touch with you for your international speaking.
Absolutely. So there is actually a contact section on my website. My website is www.lifecoachkesh.com. And when you schedule a call with me, there is an option there for speaking. I have been blessed with the opportunity to live abroad, where my speaking career kind of began. I lived in Burgos, Spain, where I taught English. And from there, I was afforded the opportunity to speak at various universities in Spain about the African American experience. And so it began there, and then I got into the diversity and inclusion space while I was in America, which then afforded me some additional opportunities to travel this country and abroad to speak on the African American female experience in corporate America. And then from there, I translated my platform here at Purposeful Life into speaking engagements as well. And so if anyone is interested in that, I can be contacted directly through my website. Again, that's www.lifecoachkesh.com. Additionally, we do love our Instagram followers. So if you are on Instagram, please feel free to follow along and send us a DM if you would like to have a conversation with me there as well. And that too is at Life Coach Kesh. Everything's super easy. You can find me everywhere at Life Coach Kesh, and that's Kesh.
Excellent. I was just going to point that out. It's Kesh at the end. So Keshia, as we get ready to close our show for this Friday, let us just give some words, some final words of guidance, of support, of inspiration to people who are out there who are looking for something to happen. I mean, I remember I used to think to myself, maybe God will show me something that will enable me to move forward and get past my fear. But there's so many layers that we have, that we put up walls, that we can't see whatever the meaning is, whatever we're supposed to be doing. So what would you leave our listeners and our viewers with for today?
So I'm going to leave you all with a quote that I share with my community quite frequently, as I think it really speaks to being able to live in your truth and do what makes you happy. So it is, be who you are and say how you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
Wow, I love that. Can you say that last part again?
Absolutely. Be who you are and see how you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
Wow, that is a fantastic way to close out this show. Thank you so much. Keshia Butler-Thomas, I will
You're very
see you
welcome.
backstage. Your website again is lifecoachkesh.com, Kesh, and she can help you with international speaking engagements. She can pretty much help you with everything because she is a person who's got a beautiful soul and beautiful heart, very kind and compassionate. So please reach out to her. Keshia, thank you again. I will see you backstage. And for everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube, I want to say a special hello to Rich Glass. I want to say hello to my sister, Debbie Wilson, my mother, Joyce Kerbeck. And I want to say hello to my new friend, Jimmy at the Reeds in Avalon. Thank you so much for being here. I'm always looking for guests who have inspirational stories. We have a business talk show on Wednesdays at 2, and then we have this show that is every Friday at 5. So I'm going to play a sponsorship commercial that will give you information if you want to be part of our show. But once again, thank you so much for supporting me and helping me bring this platform so that more people can share their stories. And that's what it's all about, a sense of community, a sense of strength, and coming together to realize it just takes one person to make a change. And so I want to help be that person. Keshia's that person, and just reach out to either one of us. Thank you so much. Stay tuned to this message, and I wish you a beautiful Friday evening. Hi, I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the executive producer and host of the Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn programs. My programs are on RVNtv, Business Talk Radio, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. I'm also the morning host of Tuesday Morning Coffee on RVNtv. I'd like to invite you to be a guest on one of my programs as well as consider sponsorship. Your sponsorship can include a custom-made commercial designed for you by the Dr. Jacalyn team, or you can use one of your own commercials. You have the opportunity to promote your brand, your book, or even a cause that's near and dear to you. You can reach out to me at Jacalyn@drjacalyn.com or through my website, drjacalyn.com. Thank you. I'd love to have you on my team.